Okay, with Stephanie Neroes, Collateral Hearts is the feature screenplay played at the Romance Relationships Festival. It's an really interesting screenplay, really well done. And I was reading the synopsis, and basically it's about, like, after reading your script, I want to make sure that the synopsis is clear because it's basically about a death. Like, basically Rebecca, husband passes away and she meets a new person. But and then you say the last sentence, it goes, they remain close until she realizes that Patrick was the reason for the accident. That's like a
Right.
twist. Do you want to give away the twist?
But no, I don't.
Okay.
That's what's tricky about the screenplay. Even trying to develop the log line, I didn't want to give away the twist.
Yeah.
Because I don't want the reader to sort of already know what's going to happen before it happens.
Yeah.
I want it to happen organically. So,
But she's not happy that her husband dies.
no,
Yeah.
not at all.
It's an interesting it's film because I think a lot of people can relate with that. And this is not uncommon, at least from my life experience of of a couple getting together who both experience loss of their recent husband or boyfriend or et cetera, girlfriend, et cetera. They like it's there's a because they know what the pain, right? They know
Right.
that feeling of pain, right? So they
Yeah,
can,
and for Patrick, it's even one step further because he's also on a road or a journey of redemption.
yeah,
Based on his past and the things he was trying to right
yeah.
as he evolves.
And at the same time, he's trying to figure out if he wants to live or not, right? Because there's always that survivor's guilt too, right? So
Well, you talking about in relation to the accident that he caused?
yeah, no, but I'm saying, like, even Rebecca too, right? She has, like,
So,
there's got to be survivor's guilt as well, right? Because she survived the
oh yeah,
car.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and then that's all. It's just one of the many things that she has to juggle as she travels down this road of grief and how to deal with that, but also be there for her daughter and interact with people outside of like that bubble.
yeah. So where did this idea come from for you?
Well, it was inspired. Okay, so I don't know if you know this, but when I wrote it with a specific cast in mind,
Okay,
and I'm a fan of Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves. And over the summer of 2024, there was this, there were interviews that they both had done, and both had expressed interest and desire to reunite on screen. So if the right project came along, and this was all born of the 30-year anniversary of Speed.
Speed, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So I
30
was
years
like,
already, eh? I should watch it again.
yeah.
Yeah. I
So
was
when
I
I
saw that
heard
in the theater. Yeah, yeah,
um so when I heard this, like in the summer, I think it was late July, I was like, well, what could I write? Because honestly, I had already written a feature about an Amazon queen, and it was something that had been shelved since 2017. And because of the industry contraction and the strikes, I had time to finish it.
yeah.
I was like, I'm done writing because I'm an editor by trade. Like that's what I do full time. I'm
Okay,
a picture editor. And so I was like, well, I finished that and I'm done. I was like, 'cause I'd written two pilots as well, so I'm done writing.
okay.
And in July, I heard this and I was like, well, I'm a fan. What could I do? What could I write to that might interest them both to reunite in a story that was more raw versus action? Um, and for an older cast, I thought, I don't know, honestly, I channeled it. Like I would wake up in the morning with my notebook next to me, and words would just start spewing, and I'd write it
Yeah.
down, you know, and I had it written in 18 days. I said I'm gonna write 3 pages a day for the whole month of August. By the end of August, I'd be done because, like I said, I was kind of done with writing. So that was how I was gonna approach it, and within 18 days, I was done. So
Okay.
it
So
was very
you
inspiring.
actually you did it ahead of schedule.
Yeah, yeah, I did. I was like so proud of myself.
Yeah. So just that because you said you're an editor by trade, if you come across uh Sandra Bullock or Keanu Reeves in your life? Do you know them personally? Okay.
I do not. I do not.
Because this is her wheelhouse, right? Like Sandra Bullock is can play the I'm depressed and I'm going through trauma character. Like she's done it she's done it more than a few times, right? So
You know what? I don't know that it was so much the dramatic part of it
yeah.
that as much as it was because in the first part, the first when we introduce her character and Jackson, her husband, who I imagine to be someone like Josh Duhamel, they sort of had that flirty, lighthearted, fun,
Yeah.
you know, cute relationship. And so I think that when I first started writing it, that's what I channeled for her because that's more her background with, like while you were sleeping, that kind of thing. And so when it became more serious, I started channeling more of the characters of like the one she had in Hope Floats,
Yeah.
that sort of, yeah. Um,
Well, even while you're sleeping, she's a lonely, kind of sad person, right?
yeah, but she's still sort of witty and awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then that was your motivation though. Like they kind of were your muses in a sense, right? For this.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Keanu, well, I guess they did two movies. They did a Lake House too, right?
The Lake House, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for Keanu, because he some when I picture him, but like John Wick, he actually is a sort of like,
Yeah, his wife dies on John Wick, right? So yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
he's like this sort of like
Yeah.
depressed, well,
He kills
like
people to get over his grief,
yeah,
right? John Wick, yeah, yeah,
right, right.
yeah, yeah. So I'm assuming he doesn't do that in this script, right? So
Oh no, no, no,
I'm just
no.
kidding. Yeah,
We just took out the action part and all of like the bloodthirsty, like I'm gonna make you pay sort of. We took that out.
yeah.
We just kept the sort of hollowness.
It's funny because I'd never seen John Wick before. I just watched it like maybe 3 weeks ago for the first time, right
Oh
before,
really?
like in between Christmas and New Year's. It's the first time I ever watched it. And so, yeah, so
And
it was like everybody's like, it's on Netflix. Everybody's like talking about it. Like, there's like three of the movies. I better take a look at it, right? So, yeah.
did you like it?
Did I like it?
Yeah.
I could see the appeal. I thought it was really it's a really well crafted film. I guess it's a stunt guy who directed the film. Like he was his stunt guy.
Really?
So
That I
stunt
didn't.
guy on The Matrix directed the film, right? So they were
Yeah, I
having a
didn't
lot
know.
of fun with it. I think the plot's a little, thin, but I don't think that's what the point is, right? So,
Yes, action films.
but your plot's very like it's layered with nuance and complexity and like I'm sure he would love this like if he sees the script, right? So,
I'm hoping somehow the
yeah.
gods will get it into their hands.
Because I guess they want to do the trilogy together, right? The two of them. Like every 15 years they want to make a movie.
Is that I haven't heard
I don't
that.
know. I'm
Is
just
that
throwing it out.
I
Just saying
don't know.
that
And
they
it's
like
funny
each
though,
other,
because
right? So yeah, yeah,
I actually emailed each of their agents. Well, I emailed their publicist today. They have the
yeah.
same publicist. So I was like, well, let me reach out to
Of
the
course they
publicist.
do. Yeah, yeah,
And then she was like, well, reach out to their agents. So I had to reach out. They were with different agencies. So I sent them an email today. So it's
yeah. No, because they're looking for something, right? So yeah. No, it's good. It's like it's so collateral there and then, like I said, we won't get into it, but there is a twist. There's a twist in your film as well, right?
yes,
But meaning that it's not what the film is about, right? It's like there's a
right,
twist, but there's not. It's not like it doesn't define the film, right? So
correct, correct.
yeah,
That is true.
because she's got to figure out like what you know what I mean, like what like there, you know what I mean, like it's an interesting kind of dilemma. There's that show, what's it called, with Harrison Ford and Jason Segel. It's like
Shrinking,
shrinkage, right, or
shrinking, shrinking.
shrinking, right? And it's like
Yeah.
they're like there's a death, right? There's a automobile death, and they contact the character and it's like do we be friends with this person, it's like that kind of conflict I guess, right, in that show.
Are you saying this is similar to that.
No, I'm saying it's in the wheelhouse. It's in the wheelhouse to
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like, what do you do? Because it's not because people are people. They're not. They didn't do it on purpose, I guess, right?
Right. So yeah, that's the dilemma she faces that, once she realizes because she she was in a coma for like almost 6 months.
Yeah,
So when she wakes up, that's when she learns that he didn't survive the accident. So where, the world has moved on for that 6 months,
yeah,
she's just learned, she's just discovered. So she's reliving it while everyone's already moved past it.
yeah,
And so but she doesn't remember it, which is another facet or another layer in the whole experience. And so when she finally does remember it, that is a question she has to ask herself. Like, is this something that I can move past and continue, whatever this is between Patrick and I, or will my grief and anger get in the, will I allow my grief and anger to get in the way of that?
yeah.
So that's what she's faced with.
Like there's I don't even know if this was conscious or unconscious on your part, but there's an extra layer in the coma is like a metaphor for trauma or like grief that people experience with grief. And people have different stages of grief, right? People have different time. So when one person is like kind of moved on, they're at a certain stage in the grief and they've moved on. It doesn't mean that the other person's in the same place. People have different timelines, right? So with her, she's dealing with something that, like you said, people have already moved on, right? Moved on from
Right.
things. And it's like it's very similar to a lot of stages like grief. What I'm trying to say is that when like because everybody has their own kind of time, I guess, right? To deal with things.
Right. That's
Yeah.
true. And even her sister-in-law, Jackson's sister, hasn't even really had her her moment to really deal with it because she had to look after their daughter,
Yeah.
right? So she was there for the daughter and had to focus on her, and that's another layer that
Yeah,
I mean,
she's in
this script
survival.
could
It's almost like
really
survival mode. Yeah,
I can really add more to this thing to even explore that. Like it could be so long, but anyway.
all right. So you did it. So you did it in 18 days, but then did you go back and rewrite it? Like, have you like finessed it a little bit? Yeah.
Actually, there were three different versions.
Okay.
So I did the first version in 18 days, and I went back and by mid-September I had three total versions.
Okay.
And I had to figure out which one I wanted to go with. So I settled on one and just focused on that for the following 2 months until I was like happy with it. It had reached a point to where I felt like, okay, it's ready for other people to review and read and whatnot. So
And then are you done? Are you still done with writing? Are you going to write again?
actually I have another feature that I had started a couple of years. Well, it originally was a TV series, and I've decided to expand it into a feature, and I've written 50 pages. So I'm gonna finish that, I think, next.
So you're still going to keep writing then?
Yes, I'm gonna finish that one, and then we'll see where we are. Because I started it like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish it. That way, I don't have anything left unfinished, and then we'll see where as long as I'm not working, I have the time to focus on writing. Right.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
But you can also argue that editing is writing in many ways, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
That's what like when the real work begins, that you're massaging the story, you're getting the story done, right? So
What in post for the
yeah, in
feature?
post-production, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I love it because again, like you said, it's a form of writing and it's the final pass. Um, and to be able to visually to contribute to the visual storytelling of a project is, I mean, it's a passion, I think, of mine. Like I really enjoy it, and to be able to sort of invoke any specific emotion that you might want to, you can do it, at the click of a button, which is amazing.
And then you're gonna
Yeah.
keep writing, and then you're gonna obviously have this job. Like, yeah, seems like you got a lot of good things going for you.
No, 2025 is looking pretty good.
Yeah. And of course, LA, it's like it's gone through so much, right? In the last 4 years, like COVID and then the strikes, now the fires, right?
Yeah,
Like it's
it's
like
gonna be yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I know that the governor put forth I think $750 million tax incentive that that has to be brought in front of the legislature, and then we have to vote on it and all these other things.
lots of
So it's
regulation
gonna be
in California, right?
what's that?
Lots of regulation in California.
Well, yeah, they have to pass. Like it has
Yeah.
the they he has to get approved, and then
It's a
we
no-brainer. It's a no-brainer to get the tax cuts for the film in
it is.
California. Yeah, yeah,
It definitely is, but it'll be interesting to see how or if and how the fires affect
yeah,
uh this sort of what do you call it, the restart up of Hollywood, I guess is what I'm
yeah.
trying to say. Yeah, because it's like COVID and then the strikes, and it's like yeah, we're getting hammered, but hopefully LA is resilient and it's a city of dreams, so that's what creatives can, that's what we're born to do, is survive, right? So
Yeah,
it'll come back better. It
yeah.
will.
Well, on that note, congratulations on the script. It's fantastic, and I hope that the publicist of Ms. Bullock and Mr. Reeves takes a look at it. It's a good. I think they'll like it when they read it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Did you read it?
yeah. Reeves is as a Canadian. He's a cool cat. He's down to earth, right? So
Now that's if you read it.
yeah. No, yeah, yeah. Of course, yeah, yeah.
Did you know about the twist before you read it?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. But I can kind of like. You know what I mean? Like you kind of see it, but then when you're reading it, you're not like because you're into the story, right? That makes sense.
I was curious. Okay.
All right, let's talk again soon when you write your next script or when that feature gets made, whenever. Let's talk soon.
Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, thanks.